Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshipper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again come. Welcome. My name is Shannon Boston, and I am the religious educator at All Souls Unitarian Church, All Souls Everywhere, and I am so happy to be with you today. Please join me in lighting your chalice if you have one. If not, you can simply share in the joy and the warmth of mine. And we will share our invocation and covenant with one another, because this is indeed a day to celebrate. Let us then rejoice in it and be glad, and let us count our many blessings. Let us be grateful for the capacity to feel and understand. Let us be grateful for the incredible gift of life. And let us be especially grateful for the ties of love that bind us together, giving dignity, meaning, worth, and joy to all of our days. Please join me in our covenant. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Our theme this month is justice, fighting for what is right and fair. Fighting, working. And today we are lifting up a man who spent most of his life doing just that, working very hard for what is right, what is just, what is fair. Do you know who I'm talking about? His name was Martin Luther King Jr. I'm sure you've heard of him. We have a street named after him right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Most places do. I'm certain you've talked about him in school. What have you heard? What have you read? Martin Luther King Jr. is a man to be honored and respected. Someone whose courage and spirit we should strive to emulate. So I want to make sure you hear the story of Martin Luther King Jr. This is a story called Martin's Big Words, written by Doreen Rappaport and illustrated by Brian Collier. Everywhere in Martin's hometown, he saw the signs. White only. His mother said these signs were in all southern cities and towns in the United States. Every time Martin read the words, he felt bad, until he remembered what his mother told him. You are as good as anyone. In church, Martin sang hymns. He read from the Bible. He listened to his father preach. These words made him feel good. When I grow up, I'm going to get big words too. Martin grew up, and he became a minister like his father. And he used the big words he had heard as a child from his parents and from the Bible. Everyone can be great. He studied the teachings of Mahatma Gandhi. He learned how the Indian nation won freedom without ever firing a gun. Martin said love when others said hate. Hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that. He said together when others said separate. He said peace when others said war. Sooner or later, all the people of the world will have to discover a way to live together. In 1955, on a cold December day in Montgomery, Alabama, Rosa Parks was coming home from work. A white man told her to get up from her seat on the bus so he could sit. She said no and was arrested. Montgomery's black citizens learned of her arrest, and it made them angry. They decided not to ride the buses until they could sit anywhere they wanted. For 381 days, they walked to work and school and church. They walked in rain and cold and blistering heat. Martin walked with them and prayed with them until the white city leaders had to agree they could sit anywhere they wanted. When the history books are written, someone will say there lived black people who had the courage to stand up for their rights. When the history books are written, someone will say there lived black people who had the courage to stand up for their rights. In the next 10 years, black Americans all over the South protested for equal rights. Martin walked with them and talked with them and sang with them and prayed with them. White ministers told them to stop. Mayors and governors and police chiefs and judges ordered them to stop, but they kept on marching. Wait! For years I have heard the word wait. We have waited more than 340 years for our rights. They were jailed and beaten and murdered, but they kept on marching. Some black Americans wanted to fight back with their fists. Martin convinced them not to by reminding them of the power of love. Love is the key to the problems of the world. Many white Southerners hated and feared Martin's words. A few threatened to kill his family. His house was bombed. His brother's house was bombed. But he refused to stop. Remember, if I am stopped, this movement will not be stopped, because God is with this movement. The marches continued. More and more Americans listened to Martin's words. He shared his dreams and filled them with hope. I have a dream that one day in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. After 10 years of protests, the lawmakers in Washington voted to end segregation. The white-only signs in the South came down. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. cared about all Americans. He cared about people all over the world, and people all over the world admired him. In 1964, he won the Nobel Peace Prize. He won it because he taught others to fight with words, not fists. Martin went wherever people needed help. In April 1968, he went to Memphis, Tennessee. He went to help garbage collectors who were on strike. He walked with them and talked with them and sang with them and prayed with them. And on his second day there, he was shot. He died. His big words are alive for us today. That was not a just ending. If I were writing a story of Martin Luther King Jr.'s life, it would not have gone that way. But we do not get to write the stories. We only get to act in them. We do what we can do. Will you take 3 big breaths with me? Martin Luther King Jr. used the words of one of the great Unitarian ministers, Theodore Parker, in his speeches. He said, "The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice." I believe this to be true. But I believe it depends upon us to do the bending. Our effort, our will, our constant attention to making this world always better, always more fair, always trying to understand what others need. Our looking to do what is right, to make sure we are acting fairly and with mercy and love. These are the ideals that Martin Luther King Jr. set for us. He strove to uphold them, and it's what I pray I can do. It's what I pray each of us can do to make this world a more just place for each other, for future generations, always learning to do better. Amen. Please join me in our hymn, One More Step. One more step, we will take one more step, till there is peace on earth for everyone. We'll take one more step. One more song. One more song, we will sing one more song, till every song is sung by everyone. We'll sing one more song. One more prayer, we will say one more prayer, till every prayer is shared by everyone. We'll say one more prayer. One more song, we will sing one more song, till every song is sung by everyone. We'll sing one more song. I love you. Go and be blessed and be a blessing.